I was really looking forward to The Perfect Bride Wedding Bells, and I'm really pleased to say it did not disappoint. This was released in 2018. It's directed by Alex Wright, written by Rick Garman, and stars Pascale Hutton as Molly and Kavan Smith as Nick. And there won't be any spoilers in this discussion for this film, but it will spoil what happens from the previous film, The Perfect Bride. And because I really enjoyed the previous film and I really liked the characters, I was really looking forward to this one. I was really happy to be able to continue with their journey. And as I said, it did not disappoint. Molly and Nick are planning their wedding, and they're very excited about this, of course. And Molly, as we learned in the previous film, Molly has an awkward relationship with weddings because on the one hand, her ex-fiancé left her at the altar, but also she runs a bridal boot camp, so she's often thinking about weddings, and now she's planning her own. It's very intense. She has a lot of anxieties initially about being left at the altar again, even though she doesn't think it's going to happen. And Nick is also juggling his new angle with photography, where he's now focusing on things that make him happy personally with his own show rather than doing it for the paycheck, as it were. And they're both at a really interesting time in their life. Unfortunately, things are not exactly straightforward with the wedding planning, and I won't go into any more detail about that. I don't want to spoil it, but it is mostly about them planning the wedding, Molly trying to find her dress, and the various obstacles along the way. And we also have a few other things thrown in that are kind of wedding adjacent that maybe throw a spanner in the works here and there, but I'll say no more. But I think it's a really enjoyable narrative. The wedding planning is something that I really enjoyed watching. I have this strange relationship with wedding-based rom-coms because in real life, I don't care about weddings. I wasn't a little girl who dreamed of my wedding. I did not care as a child, don't really care as an adult. But for some reason, I love wedding planning based rom-coms, whether that's from the perspective of the wedding couple or from wedding planners. But I really like those kind of films, and this is definitely a good example of how to do that film well, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it. The characters are just as likeable here as they are in the first film, and I kind of figured that that would be the case. So being able to follow their journey again was really lovely, and I definitely really thoroughly enjoyed that part of the film. Visually, it's stunning. We have a lot of scenes outdoors, a lot of different locations, a lot of things to keep us interested. It's not just the same scenes over and over again or the same locations. So I have zero complaints. Not only do I have no complaints, but I really thoroughly enjoyed it, and I definitely recommend it, but only if you've seen The Perfect Bride, because I do recommend The Perfect Bride, and this will spoil, well, I say it'll spoil the previous film. It kind of will, but also they're rom-coms, so things are pretty obvious anyway, so you could, in theory, watch this one without losing too much from the previous film, but I recommend both of them, so I recommend them in order. But nevertheless, however you choose to watch it, The Perfect Bride Wedding Bells is a really enjoyable film, and it absolutely met, maybe even exceeded my expectations. I'm very, very happy with it.